We are live. This is so weird. We're doing a podcast, and this is going to be the Millennial Mogul podcast. We literally just came up with that name like 35 seconds ago. And my co-host here, I'm with
Christian Hoffman.
Kristen Hoffman, the one and only. You guys know him from Instagram, from the live streams. And we wanted to take our content to the audio world because for me, I'm always trying to innovate. I'm always trying to create more content.
Well, that and the hard thing about social media and Instagram is that you only have 60 seconds.
You only got 60 seconds.
You only have 60 seconds. We got however much time we want.
Exactly. We can sit here and we can rant all day, but I'm hoping we don't. I'm hoping we do, constructive, important things. Maybe in the future we'll do like phone calls. That's a good idea. We'll have people call in and like ask us questions about real estate or about like what you're doing and all that.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Do that. But anyway, today, since it's our first one, I just wanted to talk about what I've done. I kind of want to talk about like our entrepreneur history. I know you are much newer than I am, but you kind of do because your dad and stuff have a little bit of history.
Yeah.
And then for me, I've kind of been an entrepreneur for a while, but if you want to go first, feel free. And
Well, I want to hear your story.
Okay.
And then because your story is way more in depth than mine.
Okay. All right. So.
So where did you start off first? Like how did it spark? How did your entrepreneur spark?
Right. So when I was, the first entrepreneur thing that I ever did, it wasn't even knowingly an entrepreneur thing. So what happened was my brother had been diagnosed with autism a few years prior, and we needed like money for a treatment or something. And I was like trying to think of ways. My mom, like, we were stressing out, I remember. And I was like a kindergarten, so I was really a little kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you gotta remember my brother's only like 3 years older than me. But anyway.
He was a newborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to figure out that. And we had done on my street like a few like lemonade stands before for like charities. And so I asked them, I said, would you guys want to do one for my brother, to spot us the extra $100 or a couple $100 that we needed to take care of him. And they said yes. And so like a week later we did a lemonade stand. And I remember me, was like out heckling, like while I was out on the street. I was a kindergarten heckling. So much so, I need some water up here, but so much so that literally I was on the cover of the Ladera Ranch newspaper as a kindergartner for selling lemonade.
Hey, there you go. Oh yeah, weren't you the library? Weren't you?
The library? What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure we were at the Mission View Hill Library, and you were telling me that you were on a cover or something.
Yeah, I was on
or
the
was
cover
that something
of
different?
Maybe it was. I don't know. But I was on the cover of my city's that I grew up in newspaper as a kindergartner, and I remember I was such a baller because the next year I was in first grade.
Yeah.
And one of the teachers recognized me, so she had me bring in a copy. And then, tell like a story like, oh, this is what happened. And then she brought in her copy and I got to sign it. Like,
that's cool.
I felt like such a baller. But after that, there was a long gap. Dude, I really need some water. Oh, hold on. Getting prepared. Sorry about that, guys. I've been literally talking all day yesterday. There's a long gap of when I did anything entrepreneurial. I mean, there was years where I did nothing. Really the only thing financially I can think of between that point and my sophomore and junior year of high school was like I wanted a Wii. I remember I just got an Xbox 360. Yeah, I was probably like 10. Just got an Xbox 360.
And you wanted a Wii?
Well, hold on. I went over to my friend's house, and this kid was like one of those rich kids, you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
So he had a PlayStation, he had an Xbox.
And showing it off.
And he had just gotten a Wii. So we were playing with this Wii, and we were playing like Wii Sports. Do you remember Wii Sports?
Of course, dude. The bowling, the tennis.
The bowling,
yeah.
We were doing bowling. And I was like, man, I gotta have this. And I went home, I was like, this is like a month after I got the Xbox for Christmas or something. And I was like, hey, can we sell the Xbox and get a Wii? And my mom was like offended. She was like, what? I just got this for you. Like, what the hell? And so my dad was like, look, if you want to buy one, you gotta save up. And at 10, like $200, was actually it was like $250 at that time, was a lot of money, dude. I was like, there's no way.
For a 10-year-old,
For a 10-year-old. And so it wasn't really anything entrepreneurial, but it was kind of goes back to like the work ethic. Is literally what I did. I was like, all right, I want to buy this Wii in a month, and I was just like, I just grinded it out. I was like, Mom, I want to clean a bathroom every day. I want to just do yard work just every day.
And then they'd pay you.
And then they'd pay me, yeah. And then eventually they ran out of things for me to do, and I had most of the money, but I didn't have all of it. So then I was like, what am I gonna do? So I started door knocking on my neighbors, like, hey, I want to help out. So it was a little bit entrepreneurial, but not super entrepreneurial.
And hold on, just to put it back on that subject. You know what's crazy to me is that, at such a young age, many kids do not have that mindset, or many kids do not really like. I feel like you were almost born with the DNA to have that drive to just go and make the money. Because at that age, I didn't care about money. I didn't care about trying to.
It's weird because I've always been super competitive. As you know, you played basketball with me. I'm super competitive. And so I think the money game for me now, what it's really developed into, and then even back then maybe, is it's just a game.
Yeah, but even back in the day, your friends didn't care about money, so then there was no competition.
That's true. But I don't know, it was just another way for me to keep score. That's really the way I look at it. And I know that sounds weird, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
Like, when I don't, because most of my kid life I didn't care about money. There was times I did though, when I really wanted something, and I would just grind it out for a month and then buy it. Like that was always my answer to everything. And because here's the thing: is I grew up in Ladera, which is a very nice, richy neighborhood, and we were like we rented. We were the not poor, we were middle class by far, but we were the poor people on the block because we were poor compared to everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So I just remember there were so many Christmases when like I was super into razoring, like scootering, and I wanted I think it was called like a Razor Pro or something. It was like the nice scooter. It was like $100.
Of course.
Okay. And all I had was like the $20 one, so I was like, oh, I really want this, and I couldn't afford it because I had they got me other stuff already, and it was like too late. So I was like, whatever. All the kids on my street, it was like when we were all into Razor, and they all got one. I was like, fuck this. So yeah, it was stuff like that where I was like, you know what? I think for me, because of being surrounded and not necessarily
your environment,
right? Not necessarily being poor, because we were not poor. We weren't even close to being poor.
No.
But
it's like you're
feeling like you're poor because you're around rich people.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Like if we were to live in any other middle class neighborhood, I would feel like a baller, dude. We would have been the opposite.
Yeah.
But because of where I grew up, I think it was different.
And I think it almost pushed you too, because you see all these kids who are just magically gifted with, okay, you want an Xbox 360, here you go.
Right.
While you were like, your parents were, no, you're gonna have to figure it out.
Right.
Which is good, because now it formed you to who you are now. Because it's all about your environment. Because if your parents weren't middle class and weren't saying or couldn't afford certain things,
right,
then you probably wouldn't be the person who you are today.
It's true. It's very true. And I think that, and the other thing I think about when it comes, this is not really entrepreneurial, but it's more about my mindset.
Yeah.
Is my brother, because I think what happened with him really played an impact on how much I matured as a kid. Because when you have an autistic brother, especially, I don't know anyone that's listening, or how much you know about autism, very little. But there's definitely very, severe, and there's very mild, and he's on the moderate to severe side of it.
Wow.
So like he's 17 now. He can't talk.
He's 17.
Yeah, he can't talk.
Does that mean, because he looked way younger than 17 last time I saw him?
No, he's 17.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, he can't talk. He can't make noise. He can only make noises.
He can't even go in the job market, huh?
No, I mean,
not in grocery stores.
Maybe, but he'd have to work with someone that's gonna guide him, and like the chances that are low.
Yeah.
But the reason why I think that played an impact on me, because growing up, my parents obviously had to give him the large majority of their attention.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
And I was lucky because my mom was a stay-at-home mom, regardless, even before Mason was born. But even with that, 90% of her attention had to be given to Mason, just because so much of that. And so it made me kind of, I don't want to say take care of myself, because again, it wasn't taking care of myself. She was there. She was doing a lot of things for me that, mom would do. Yeah. But I was much more independent, because it was kind of like, okay, boom, you go do whatever you want to do today. You know what I mean? And so I would go out, and at like 8 or 9, I would run around the entire neighborhood, and all my friends on my street would be like, dude, we can't even leave the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not that they didn't care, it just wasn't important.
Yeah.
So I think those two things are what did it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff. You can't really quantify it. But.
All right, so we figured out.
That's
the spark, but go on more in depth with how you got to where you are now.
Anyway, long gap, like I said, probably 11, 12 years, whatever, from kindergarten until my sophomore year of high school. So my sophomore year of high school, that point in my life, I was super into basketball. As I think I've told you the story.
Yeah.
And it was my life. Like literally, my schedule was this: I would go to school early. I would play an hour of basketball before school, work out with the coach. Then I would go and we'd have school. I'd have practice. After practice, we'd lift. Then I'd go home. I'd eat, and I'd go down to the park and play basketball for another like 3-4 hours. then I might do homework if I felt like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was perks of high school, having time to do whatever you want.
That was pretty much my life. Okay. Yeah. And even before that in middle school, it was like that too. You know, not as extreme, but just basketball. That's all I cared about. And at this point, what had happened was in December, late December, early January, right in the peak of basketball season for high school, I had a knee injury, and we didn't know what it was. It was like just super painful in my left knee, right on my kneecap, and I ended up getting an MRI in it early January, getting an X-ray, and basically what happened is on the bottom of my kneecap, a chip had boned off. Had chipped off. A bone had chipped off. I said that backwards. And yeah, so it was kind of just carving into the cartilage, so it's super painful.
Shit. So
they had to go in. It wasn't a major surgery. They just had to go in and take it out, basically. Oh. It was not super major, but obviously with that, it's not a chronic, still. Or it's not a. I don't know what the name. I don't know the medical term, but it's not something that has to happen today, right? It's like it's broken and I can't use it. So they scheduled it ahead of time. My surgery was March 17th, 2014.
Cool.
And anyway, but until then, I said you can't play basketball. So there was a 2-month span where I couldn't play basketball. And, I was in love with it, so I was okay with that though, because the season was coming to an end. So anyway, I'm hanging out, and by
the way, I just want to mention you were like captain of the team, right?
Yes, that year I was.
Cool.
This was I was on JV at this time.
Cool.
But I was. And then, fast forward 2 months, it's March 15th. I have not played basketball for 2 months. And I know my surgery's coming up, and they couldn't give me an idea of my recovery time because of the fact they said, we don't know exactly how bad it is, and so it might be a month you can't play, or it might be 6 months. And so I was like, dude, I gotta go and just play, like one more time before I go get my surgery. And so I go down to the park, my local park where I used to play all the time, and I'm there playing.
Yeah.
And anyway, long story short is, I go, and I shattered my ankle in 5 places.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was just you were playing ball with the boys.
Yeah,
I thought that was actual game.
No, I was playing ball with the boys. And I was an idiot. I was wearing Jordan 1s, you know what those are?
Yeah.
Jordan 1s, but not like the OG ones, like they're just mids.
Okay.
And I didn't have them tied up all the way. And I don't know if that's what did it, but I'm assuming that's what did. Because I came down, and I landed on someone's foot too. But I heard a pop. I knew I broke it right away. I'd never even broken anything before.
Well, yeah, by the look of the picture I saw, that was...
Before I even looked, I just heard it. Before I even fell, I was like, I broke it. I already know.
Yeah.
And anyway, I don't need to get into the whole story. But basically, the reason why that is important is because, again, up until that point, my life was basketball. That's all I cared about. I want to go to the NBA, yada, yada, yada. And then I had 8 months now because my broken ankle was on the opposite side. And they won't do surgery on both of them at the same time because you have to have one working leg.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I got ankle surgery immediately. I still have metal and pins and stuff in there. And then I had to wait, 8 months for that to heal up before I could even do my knee surgery.
Wow.
Which thankfully was the light, 1 month recovery so I could get back the next season. But I didn't know that at the time. So I had 8 months of just sitting in my room and thinking and reflecting.
And we all know how crazy people could get when they're stuck in
Dude,
a room.
it was a dark time.
You probably went through some crazy emotions, some crazy baggage.
It was, yeah, like I said, it was crazy. And there was a bunch of other stuff going on at the same time. Maybe we'll have a podcast about this because it was a really crazy part of my life.
Yeah.
But just like everything bad that could have happened at once, just happened at once. And you're like, what the fuck? But anyway, at the same time, I kind of look back and I think it was a good thing because obviously everything I went through wasn't good, but it kind of made me realize that life is more than basketball. Because literally at that time, that was my life. That's all I cared about. Mm-hmm. I can't stress that enough. And it made me realize, especially when a couple months after I broke my ankle, I had to go into my school. And at this point, I had been at home. They'd been supposed to be sending me a teacher, but they hadn't, and that's another story. So I was really far behind on school, and I go in to talk to this teacher, this counselor. It's a counselor.
Yeah.
And she basically flat out says, you're way behind, you're not going to pass this semester. Like, you're going to fail. And I remember going home, and I was pissed. I was like, who the F is this? Like, and I haven't figured out if I want to cuss on this or not yet, so I might go back and forth, but we'll figure it out, people.
I mean, you do it on your Instagram.
Yeah, I do it on my Instagram, so maybe not. I just don't give a shit. But anyway, I talked to the counselor. She says, you're not going to pass. I go home. I said, you know what? One day, I'm going to make more than her. I'm going to make more money than her.
Right? No, she said you were a failure.
She basically said I was a failure. Yeah. And I was like 15. I was like, what the hell? Actually, I just turned 16. Because guess what? Broke my ankle March 15th. Knee surgery was scheduled for March 17th. Birthday is March 18th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And my girlfriend at the time had been telling me, oh, you got to do something special for your 16th birthday.
Oh, yeah? Because I can't fucking move?
No, this had been months ahead of time. She's like, you got to do something special. So when I broke my ankle, I called her that day. It was March 15th. Like when I was in the hospital, I was like, hey, so I did something special for my 16th birthday.
Nice.
Anyway, but this counselor, just basically just roasted me and was like, you're not going to be successful. You're going to fail.
What kind of fucking counselor?
That's what I'm saying, man. It's ridiculous. But I went home that day, and my mom had always told me I should be a lawyer. So I looked up. This is crazy. I don't think I've ever told anyone this detailed of the story. I looked up what are good degrees to be a lawyer. And for some reason, the first one that came up in this article was economics. And it was like 85%, or I can't remember the stat, but 80-something% of people that get an economics degree go on to get their first choice of law school. So I was like, okay. I was like, cool. So I didn't know what economics was now. And I looked it up, and I was like, okay, it's about money. It's like, oh, this is really interesting. I started reading about it. I was like, wow, supply and demand. Like, I don't know what any of this means. And then I didn't really understand at the time, but I thought it was like stock investing. So I was like, okay, like maybe let's look up stock investing.
As everyone would.
Yeah. And so I looked up and I found this book called The Intelligent Investor. And that was the first book I ever attempted to read. It's the 700-page book by Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham. And I do recommend you guys read it if you're into that stuff. It's very good. But I remember on the first couple pages of it when I got it, something like, I can't remember exactly how it was phrased, but it was something along the lines of, in a bear market, or in a bull market. And I didn't know what either of those meant, so I had to highlight it and go on Google and look it up.
Of course.
Like, I was that lost. And that was pretty much where it started. And from that point, it was just kind of an obsession to learn more about business. And it's really transformed from being interested in investing. And really up until mid last year, that was all I cared about, was like investing. And then I really started to realize, well, you need money to invest. And the truth behind it is business. That's where you make the majority of the money, and then you keep your money in investing. And most people think you make the majority of your money in your job and you keep it in your savings, right? That's not the way to do it. So that's technically a way to do it, but that's not the best way to do it, in my opinion. So that was pretty much that. I launched my first business that summer, the end of that summer when I could walk again. It was a basketball training business. So I went out. I spent like $300 on flyers and cones and a whistle and like everything that you need to train basketball. And I figured it would be a good business because I could play basketball and kind of recuperate from my injury. And on top of that, I could train kids and make some money. So I went around, knew nothing about marketing, just handed out flyers with like the NJB events and like met people. And at my first event, I was gonna do like a group training session, $5 a kid for 2 hours. I think it's a good deal. 0 people showed up. And I spent 2 weeks promoting this, like a bunch of time. I think $300 at the time was a lot of money because I never had a job or anything. And so I was just devastated. I went home and I wasn't crying, but my mom was like, she could tell, one of those. Like,
that's a heartbreak, man.
It was, man. It was. And so after that, for a while, I just didn't do anything with it. I just I still have the flyers. I never ended up doing anything with it. And I got focused on my basketball return and all that. And then, beginning of the following year, I want to say, or I might have been the end of that year. I can't remember when it was. My mom for years has always been talking about she wants to buy a house because we rent. Oh, I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house. And
were you guys in a different house or same house?
Same house that you've been to.
Okay.
And anyway, eventually it kind of clicked. I was like, well, wait a minute. Real estate's a business, and she wants to buy a house. I said the best way to help them is to learn real estate, right? So I went in and I started learning about real estate investing first because I thought that was what was more interesting to me. And I got really obsessed with it. And then I went to an event, and I'll tell a story later, but I found my first mentor there, and I kind of just went from there. So, yeah, and I was 17 at the time. So this was the year after. This was 2015. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh,
wow.
And I had some side businesses between them that I did that were semi-successful. Like, I had a website business that I did. Yeah. Yeah, where I sold websites to, like, small businesses. I had my original mastermind, too. Did I ever tell you about my original mastermind? Yeah, it was me, Malik, Miles, Nav, who's passed away, rest in peace, Grant, excuse me, I can't remember his name, Grant, and we had a few other people. And we started a car wash business. And by started, I mean, we put money in and then we just never did anything with it. It was like $20, it wasn't a lot of money. And then I had a Wi-Fi booster business where I went around and sold Wi-Fi boosters to people. So I had a lot of like side stuff, like nothing major. Yeah. But it wasn't really till real estate kicked off that I was like passionate about something. And so I guess that's pretty much the story.
See, that's something is funny to me because I feel as if there's most people, I don't think they just read real estate investing and they're like, oh my god, this is so interesting. You know, I mean, obviously everyone could do real estate, everyone could do business,
right?
No matter your personality,
right?
But I think it's definitely easier when you naturally find a passion for it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think too, you know, what's funny is, you know, I go to a lot of real estate investment clubs.
Yeah. And
so I meet a ton of real estate investors.
Yeah.
And one thing there's a common theme is most of them, they're like halfway in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're doing deals. But they're just halfway in it.
I feel like they do it just because that's the entrepreneur way, you know?
Yeah.
Or that little niche tells them to do it.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, too, because, you know, I've never been through real estate because I'm 19, and 17 was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've never been through real estate when it was down.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And what happens is when the real estate market's high, which it's been going up and still going up, and I think peaking very soon, you know, everyone wants to be a real estate investor because it's easy. You just pay, and then you have a house that goes up in value. I mean, there's no anything behind it. There's no thinking.
Yeah.
It's just everything works. But then what happens is the market crashes. 95% of their people didn't invest right, and they lose their money. And the 5% that did then become bigger.
Yeah.
And so that's like, you'll see, like, I had a mentor that, you know, he's much older. Obviously, he's like in his 40s. But, you know, he was into real estate in the early 2000s, was killing it, was flipping, making, you know, $50,000 to $100,000 a deal. Doing one of those a month, which is pretty good, right? And then what happened was he would do, you know what hard money loans are? Are you familiar with that?
No.
So, you know, you can do flip deals with your own money, but if you don't have that, or if you don't
is that
want
when
to,
you have a pool of people?
No, well, it could be, but basically you're just taking actual money from a solo investor. So it's like, you can either go to a bank and get a loan, or you can come to Spencer and I'll just give you cash. And we'll, you know, it's like a private loan. Okay? Yeah. So he would do that, and the interest rates are much higher on that, and there's just different rules, obviously. And he bought, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I'm going to, you know, estimate exactly what it was. He had gotten a house at 300, somewhere around 300. I think it was like 310 or something. And he knew he could sell it for 450 at the time. So he put in $50,000 worth of work, and it took about 3 months. In that 3 months, the market crashed. And so not only could he not sell it for 450, but at market condition, which he had just fixed it at, he could only sell it for like 270.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then he couldn't get rid of it. So then it just kept going down and down.
Shit.
And he ended up not selling it until it was like hit 210. So he lost $100,000 or something like that. Easy. Plus all the interest on a hard money loan, which is like 14%.
Plus the time.
Plus the time.
Yeah.
And it really just took him out of the game for a while because he like, what the hell do I do? Because, you know, he started looking at all the investments he was looking at that he didn't put money in, and they all do the same thing. So he's like, I don't even know what to do now. And then he learned, obviously, other investment strategies, and so he kind of fixed his stuff. But yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen with that. I mean, you know, there's so many people that are in the hype right now.
Yeah.
But they're not committed to it. You know what I mean?
I see that. I see they're not. Or, yeah. They're not committed, and also just they probably just. I feel like they're kind of just in it just to meet people, to network. Cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or, you know, like for the image sake or something.
I think so.
Because I agree with you. I feel like I see a lot of these entrepreneurs or business people or investors or whoever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, they'll say all this shit, but I'm like, well, you know, it sounds like you're not really, like you're saying the thing, but you're not really executing on anything.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing.
You know, it's funny. There's a lot of ego, a lot of like for me, you know, when I do my speeches at places, you know, I'm just doing 10-minute market recap speeches as well as like, you know, who I am. I help people with marketing online as well as real estate stuff, yada yada. And I don't know if I ever told you this story. Before I got asked to start doing that, this club that asked me to do it originally, they were one of the few clubs that, you know, had everyone can come up for 1 minute and pitch themselves. Just say, hey, this is what I do, yada yada. And for every single month, for probably 8 months, I would go up and say, my name is Spencer. I want to help your business grow with online marketing. I do real estate investing. So I'm a wholesaler. I just got my lights, like whatever was new, right? And as well as like 5 or 6 other people, random people, right? Not the same people. And every single time.
Hold on, were they all 17?
No, they're not all 17. Yeah. Well, at this point I was 18. But
okay. You're the youngest one there.
I was by far the youngest one there. Yeah. I was between me and David, but David wouldn't go up.
That sounds intimidating, man.
It is a little bit, but you know what? I like public speaking, so kind of comes natural to me.
Cool.
But anyway, so I would go up there, and I would see these other people go up there, and you know, not that I felt like I was the best, you know, 1 minute speech because it's ridiculous, but I would just get pissed because after, you know, the way this club would run is after everyone pitched themselves, you do 10 minutes of networking, so you can meet anyone that spoke.
Cool.
And I would always look, and all these other people that went, no matter how bad their freaking presentation was or whatever, always get 15 people to go up and talk to them, and no one would ever come talk to me for like 8 months. And this pissed me off. I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, what am I doing wrong? And I was having this talk. I think I was talking to David because you know David's there. This is David, the mastermind. Not the other one. And he was like, dude, I think it's just age. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're probably right. And then what happened was that club asked me to do a 10-minute speech about the market. So I was like, all right.
This was recently.
This was about 3.5, 4 months ago. No, this is longer than that now. This is February.
Yeah, but I remember you were telling me about that.
I was hyped about it.
Yeah.
So I went up there and I gave my 10-minute speech, and then we did networking after that. And all of a sudden I had like 40 people come up to me and give me their business cards, say, let's do business together, let's work together. And I was just like, you know what? You guys have seen me come up here for 8 months, and now you want to work together.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like, what changed now? You know, because I gave a longer speech.
Yeah.
And now you know, because obviously I'm talking about the market, and I know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, clearly, like this kid must know what he's talking about. Yeah, age doesn't matter. You know, did I tell you about this company? And I'm not going to say the name of the company because they're a good company. I like them, but I don't want to shame on them because I'm about to do that right now. Company that my dad works at.
Yeah, you got finessed.
I got finessed. But it's not about that because I like everyone there. Everyone was great. But when they're sitting down discussing how much they wanted to pay me.
Yeah.
You know, I put down a number that this is my minimum. I've never been paid less than this an hour. And they said, well, we can't pay you that much, but we'll meet you, you know, halfway there.
That wasn't halfway.
Yeah, I know it wasn't halfway, but whatever. And I said, well, why can't you at least come to this number? And they said, well, because you'd be getting paid more than most people in the office that get paid hourly, and you're 19. I said, well, what does that have to do with anything? I said, it's not about how old you are. It's about what you can do. I mean, I built an email system in like 5 hours that literally, there was a guy, his only job in there, 8 hours a day. Can you imagine this? They'd get sent in warranty cards, right? Because they sell a tool and they'd send a warranty card with a tool. We fill it out and you send it back, and then they register their warranty. This guy, his job all day, put that information into a spreadsheet. All day, 8 hours a day.
I'd kill myself.
I know.
That's tedious.
So I built a system where you can do it online and automatically puts it in a spreadsheet and then sends them an auto email saying thank you for purchasing that tool, as well as a link to consumables for that tool, and then takes their information, puts it into an autoresponder, all automatically. So I just saved you potentially thousands of dollars over the next years.
Yeah.
If this guy does not have to do that anymore.
This guy doesn't have to work.
Yes. And they want to pay me $14.50 an hour.
That's a slap in the face.
I know. So, you know, and like I said, they're a great company. I really like them. It's just the whole, you're 19. Like, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so what? I know a 19-year-old I know a 22-year-old that's a millionaire, and I know a 22-year-old that's homeless. So, what does age have to do with anything? You know what I mean? I don't know.
It just looks are deceiving, you know?
But, you know, whatever. It's just that's something I've had to deal with. And I don't know about you. I know you're in a kind of completely different place than I am.
Yeah.
But is that something you've had to deal with at all, age?
Age? Well, for me, it's been... Actually, yeah, it's age, but it's how I look.
Right.
I'm 22, but I look like I'm 18. You know? I get people telling me that I look 18, 17, or if I'm in high school or something. And I'm like, right. I'm a junior in college. Like,
yeah.
You know, and it's kind of tough where you don't get the same respect, you know?
Yeah.
They don't take you seriously.
No.
And for the viewers here, my name is Christian, and I used to train a lot of people in, you know, pickup, you know, trying to meet up with girls and try to
That's right.
hook up with girls, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I remember when I was doing the game, when I was in the game balls deep, and I was just approaching women like left and right. A lot of these women were just like, how old are you? Like, you look like a kid.
Yeah.
And it was either I was their age or maybe I was like 2 or 3 years younger.
Yeah, right.
Which doesn't even fucking matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, obviously.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if there's attraction, then what the fuck? You know, I'm past 18. Or it's like, if you know the market, then who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
if you help this company, then what's the matter about the age? Why is a person's like a number of how long they lived here matter?
Right. No, totally.
Because I don't know.
It's just, you know what, honestly too, this is what I've learned in the last 2 years. Like, this is not really business related, although you can definitely tie it in. Okay. You know, growing up, and I don't know if you felt the same way like I did when I was growing up, but like I always feel like adults, like, because I was always told like, oh, listen to your parents, obviously, but listen to adults because they know. And so I always felt like, oh, like they just, like, they've grown up, like they know just way more. And then you know what I realized when I was 17, 18? Dude, they're just grown up kids, man.
Oh yeah.
They don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure a lot of them and I guess I'm an adult now too, so you know what I mean. But there's a lot of adults that do know a lot. But there's an equal amount, if not more, that don't know anything.
Well, and it's funny too because I was thinking about this. I've always been thinking about this because we always deal with it.
Right.
Is that they are just young adults basically. Yeah. I mean, like they're just kids in an adult body. Yeah, they've been through life way more than we have. Mm-hmm. But the thing that makes them younger, or the things that makes them like still like the person who they were when they were 18, is their habits. Right. Their mental brain, their mental habits that you don't even fucking realize.
No, I know. That's what it is.
It really is. That's just what it is. Like if you've set a habit in your brain that's constantly recycling every single fucking year, it's gonna get more ingrained in your brain, and then there you go.
And it's stuck.
And then you're stuck. And I get people all the time telling me that, like, dude, I feel like a kid. I still feel like a kid. Yeah. You know, I still feel like I just graduated high school, but now I have a big boy job in the family that, like, I used to get scared of taking care of. Or, like, I still, like, but, you know, people still have to project of, like, oh, they're confident there. I don't know.
Well, I think, you know what's crazy, too, is just, like, how much, like, realizing that, like what you just said, changed the way I look at things. Yeah. Because all of a sudden I went from, like, and you might even remember this, when we first met. Yeah. I don't know if I ever made a comment to you like, oh, you know, because I was kind of figuring this out when we first met. Like, just really figuring this out. Yeah. Because of stuff that had happened to me. And it's funny, I've never been scared of confrontation at all, as you know. Yeah. I'm very upfront with people. But, you know, as a kid, I'd sometimes get into trouble. And not with my own parents, because they loved it, but with other parents. Like, when I was a little kid, my mom's a health freak, as you know. Or maybe you don't know. And she didn't want me drinking Gatorade as a kid. So she got me Traderade, which is like Trader Joe's version.
Yeah, of course.
And she's like, yeah, don't drink Gatorade because it gives you cancer. Or something like that, just to scare me. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not a health expert. But I'm outside drinking my Traderade. This kid, my friend's drinking his Gatorade. I'm like, oh, don't drink that. It gives you cancer. And he starts freaking out. Goes and gets his dad. His dad comes out, starts yelling at me. And just say, I remember him saying the most ridiculous things. Like, stuff that doesn't not even make sense. Like, looking back, like, what were we talking about? He was like, if you drink bug juice, you get cancer. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What? That does not make any sense. But at the time, I didn't get it because I was a kid. But it's just stuff like that. Like, if you jump off a cliff, you get cancer. Like, what are you talking about? Like, just what?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny, too. This just happened to me. Is that I'm having a real conflict with my stepdad and I, which I live in the house with. Right. And he complains about cleaning, like, just the littlest shit. Just, like, really stupid things. Right. And my mom's kind of getting tired of it too, because she noticed it. And what he told my mom was that, well, my mom used to tell me that if I loved her, I would clean the house. Right? Yeah. How fucking stupid is that? Oh, so if I clean the house, that means I love you? Yeah. Yeah. And so think about it, and this is what we were just getting towards to, is that he's had that in his brain since he was fucking 5 years old. Yeah. And he's a fucking 40-year-old man still having that in his brain. Right. Still justifying it that's right. Yeah. Which is not right. Which you would think that's you adult, like you would figure that out. Right. But that's what I'm saying. It's one of your subconscious thoughts that's always been there.
Right. No, I know.
Which is weird, man. Yeah. It's fucking a trip.
It's it's interesting because I'd say the biggest new understanding that I have about self-development is the power of habits.
Because I need to read that book, by the way.
You do. It's a great book, guys. But it's funny is I was like, what do people do that are successful, right? I'm like, okay, they start businesses. I need to start a business, right? I just do that. And then I realized, it's okay, you know what? Instead of what they do, it's like, what habits do they have? Because that's ultimately your deciding factor. Because it's not about what you do once. Like, you don't get good at basketball by playing it once, okay?
Yeah.
You don't play for an hour and then you're Michael Jordan. That's not how it works. You practice for 8 hours a day for 6 years, and then you're good.
Well, and it's microcosms of each habit. So it can't just be one thing.
Right.
It has to be a little bit of everything, which conjures up to something bigger.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just realizing that this year, it's all of a sudden gone from like, oh, like, what did you do to be successful? Like, what habits do you have?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I ask everyone now that like I look up to. What habits do you have? And a common theme, I've said this in a video before if you guys haven't seen it, but it was a while ago. Three common themes throughout any person that's been successful in their life, high levels of success, regardless if it's an athlete, entrepreneur, a freaking scientist, right? If they're top of their field or whatever. Waking up early.
Really?
Yes.
Everyone.
Common theme.
What's like what times?
There's a variation.
I know there's a various, but what do you think?
Anywhere earliest was 4
to 6.
all the way to 6.
Cool.
Okay. But waking up consistently early.
Got it.
Meditating. And going for walks. Yes. There's a few people I met, but one of them in particular, his name is Scott Duffy. He's a fairly successful entrepreneur. His last company, he sold it to Richard Branson, if you know who that is.
Wow. Yeah.
And he explained it to me as basically like a Airbnb for like private jets. That's essentially what it is.
Oh yeah.
And so anyway, he was telling me that, obviously he meets with all these crazy people. And he's like, and he's like, you have an idea, Spencer? He's like, almost like, feels like 80% of the time I meet with these really successful people. I'll show up and they'll tell me before, bring your walking shoes. And our meeting will be walking for an hour.
No shit.
Yeah. And he said he's like, the reason why I think is that, when you sit down in a room, it's kind of like a mental thing. He's like, I think a lot of these people, they need to get up and they need to move. And then on top of that, when you're out in the world, it's just like you feel like your brain is opened up. Versus if you're locked in a room for like 8 hours a day. It's like people that are stuck in cubicles all day. You know what I mean? Like, think about how mentally drained that has to be, being stuck in there. Yeah. Versus going out and walking, and you know what I mean?
It's so true.
So, yeah, that was a big one. And then meditation, too.
Meditation.
Yeah, he says you got to meditate 10, 20 minutes a day minimum. And he says anytime you're stressed, just go meditate for 10 minutes. You'll feel a lot better. And he was telling me how he meditates, which I'll tell you guys. What he does, he'll put on, like, really mellow music, and then he'll focus on one instrument and just like play that instrument in his head as if he's actually playing it.
Yeah, just as get rid of your thoughts.
Right.
Sort of. And
he says that helps a lot, but
dude,
everyone does it in different ways. So yeah, those are the 3.
I'm telling you, man, you gotta try out the slacklining, man. Because no, straight up. Because when you're on the line, you seriously cannot think about anything else but where your body is and being fluid with the rope. Like you basically have to be water. You have to be the rope, and you have to feel it out. Because if you have any other bearing thoughts in your brain, you're gonna lose your balance somehow, and you're gonna fucking get flung. But like every time, I swear to God, every single time I slackline, I feel 10 times better. Just really? Dude, my day goes from like 5% to 100. Yeah, it's crazy. It's honestly, it's a boost. It's just a boost in your day.
It's funny. That's the same way I feel about when I play basketball.
Yeah, even basketball. Because that's also essentially meditation. Because meditation is just not thinking about your thoughts, not having thoughts. Think about something different. Right. Focusing on something different. He focuses on the tune. You focus on your basketball. Yeah. You focus on your form. You focus on where you're gonna pass the ball. Right. So it's all fucking meditation, but people always believe that meditation has to be on the floor, crisscross applesauce, dude. It's not that. You can do various things.
It's just about clearing your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't think you ever answered. Tell us where you started and a little bit about what you're doing now. Okay. And, just why you're interested in entrepreneurship and just everything.
All right, I'm curious. Cool. So, where I started with entrepreneur, well, it all starts out with my dad, my biological dad. We're going. I have 2 dads.
Going way back.
Yeah, we're going way back. I was maybe 4 years old. Okay. My dad was hustling. And he was hustling drugs. Yeah. He was in the cartel. Yeah. and he was flying private jets. He had
big baller.
He would no honestly, bro. I remember going to the jewelers, and he would just buy fucking anything, dude. Like watches, like straight up rapper shit, like some craziness.
Yeah,
I remember we were counting. He would give me $100 every time I count $1,000.
What?
Yeah, every time I count $1,000, he'd give me $100.
That's a good deal.
Yeah,
that's a good deal.
Yeah, I was a kid too. We would do it in my uncle's fucking house, and it literally a duffel bag of just fucking cash. It was ridiculous, and he always lied to me saying he did car sales or something.
Car sales.
Yeah, but anyways, so he goes to jail for 8 years, right? He goes to federal prison for 8 years. He
gets caught. Yeah,
gets caught, whatever. And he comes back, and he started a business because, you know, out of federal prison you can't get a job.
No, of course not.
You don't have a fucking like you're done. You know?
There's nothing you're gonna do.
So he's like, well, my only option is to start up something, and he did something with pipelining. I'm not gonna get into the details, but he starts his business, right? And he starts really getting into it.
Right. And
I'm probably I'm in high school, and I'm really like, yeah, dude, you're making a lot of money. I like what you're doing. Blah blah blah. Well, while we're talking, like I started to get closer with my dad in high school because once he came back in my life for like I was kind of like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, right. Been gone for so long.
Yeah, 8 years. Like I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
And he started just instilling a mindset in my brain, and I don't know how to explain it, but
that was like the seed.
Yeah, that was the seed. He kind of just boosted me because, dude, my dad would send me paychecks, not me personally paychecks, but like he'd send me a paycheck he would get, fucking like $500,000 for a job.
Wow. Yeah.
Like no joke. I was just like, how do you make this money? Like,
yeah.
I want this shit.
Yeah, right.
I want a pie of that. Anyways, and he was telling me all this shit, and then, you know, throughout, I think once college hit me, I learned what a growth mindset is instead of a fixed mindset. And I don't know if the viewers know, but a fixed mindset is basically you're limited. Like you're only so smart.
Right.
With a growth mindset, as long as you work hard enough, you're gonna fucking get through it. And if you have enough grit, you know, facing adversity for a really long periods of time, you will get through whatever you got to do.
Right.
Basically. Right. And that's where I was. And another thing was that I always wanted to learn.
Yeah.
I had a passion to learn, man.
Right,
I want to learn fucking everything.
Yeah.
And the same thing with you as competition goes is like, I was competitive. I wanted to fucking beat all my peers and whatever.
Yeah. Right.
And now it was like the money. It was like the money game. I was like, fuck, dude, I want to make some money.
Right.
I see you're making cash. I'm like, fuck, I need to get to this game right now. Anyways,
right.
And so what happened was that I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm good at. And then I started realizing like my passion was fucking picking up girls. Like I liked going in, opening to a girl, hey, real quick, just want to say you're really cute, blah blah blah, ask for her number, and if I get her number, we go on a date, or if we hook up or whatever, dude, it was a high, bro. It was something.
No, totally.
It feeds your ego. You're high on life. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, oh shit, I could probably teach people this shit.
Yeah.
Because I see it, just how you see a lot of fake investors,
yeah.
I see a lot of fake ass fucking people.
Pickup artists.
Yeah, pickup artists. Like, I remember one of my mentors in pickup artists, which is so stupid to say, but one of my mentors, he was telling me, he's like, dude, there's a lot of guys I know who are mentors to other people, but won't go and show them how to pick up girls. Like, they won't do it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's my secret, I can't tell you.
What?
Which is because they were too pussy to fucking go because they're too scared of
totally.
Yeah. And I was like, that's a bunch of bullshit. So so you know, I started you know making like whatever here and there, like nothing like not really a business, but just to do it.
Right.
And then fucking after that, I just started liking the thought of, oh shit, I could like do a business and stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of my passions is school. You know, I like school.
You do. That's very true.
Yeah,
you're very studious.
Yeah, very. I don't know. I get it from my stepdad. He got an MBA from UCLA. Like, he's gonna get a fucking doctorate degree from there.
Yeah.
All this crazy shit. Anyways, and so I wanted to help out the world. Like, or at least the students, because dude, the education system's fucked up.
100% agree. Yeah.
100% fucked up, and you know, I understand business. You know. But the thing I hate about business, there's no fucking morals. Everyone's a shark, dude. everyone wants to eat everyone up. Everyone wants to fucking just make the most money. They don't give a fuck about the consumer. Like,
that's not entirely true.
It's not entirely true, but I get the vibe. True. I totally get the vibe from most people.
Yeah, that's true. You know what's funny is, and I'll tell you the story afterwards, but I had something happen with that where I had to either go with the business world or use my morals.
Oh, yeah?
I'll tell you the story if you want to.
Yeah. Go ahead, dude. We're here.
So, this is going on right now, by the way, actually.
Oh.
You know, the solar eclipse glasses that I'm selling. Yeah. And we sold about 30 units on Amazon. And then Amazon said, look, your glasses are ISO certified, which is like the main certification for solar glasses. But it's not done by a lab in the U.S., so we can't sell them on here. So it's not that it's not safe, but they're just not sure.
Yeah. And
there's a bunch of fraudulence coming from Asia, so like we just don't want anything coming from there. So I'm like, okay. So they sent me the other packs, like 100 and whatever packs.
Did you pay for
that? To ship it here now. And I said, this was like end of last week, early this week. What the hell do I do with these? And I called up one of my friends, Jake. Remember Jake, basketball player?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, can you go door to door? I'll pay you $4 a sale. And on the second door...
$4 a sale?
Yes.
Wow.
On the second door he knocked on, I was one of his neighbors. The mom knew him and loves him. Says, yeah, I'll buy a pack. In fact, you know what? Let me put you on the Facebook moms group of Ladera. There's 3,000 people on that Facebook group.
Oh, shit.
So all of a sudden he calls me. I gave him 10 packs. 45 minutes later he calls me and says, I'm going to need more. What do you mean? I sold them all. So it's been 45 minutes. What are you talking about? I know. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I need more. I was like, okay, I'll come over there. And he showed me his phone. It was literally hundreds of text messages. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
So we did close to 1,200 in sales in 2 days at a 90, no, not 90, probably like 75% profit margin.
No, you didn't tell me this.
Yeah, well, this has been going on the last 2 days.
Oh, shit.
And then, this is where it goes downhill, though. So we're killing it, right? We're like, let's go. Me and Clayton, who, invested in some of this, is excited. And then... and I sold to a couple people on Craigslist and personally there was never an issue, but there's a couple people in the Dara that had issues like, oh, are these legitimate? And I'm like, yeah, they're ISO certified, whatever. But I was like, you know what? I started getting a little, upset because I was like, I don't want to potentially hurt someone's eyesight because I want to make some money. So I was like, I need to get a pair of legitimate ones and compare them, right? The problem is you can't get legitimate ones anymore. Like, I don't know if you've been on it. You probably haven't been on Amazon. But if you go on there and you look, there's only 5 companies. And so the price gouging is ridiculous. Buy a pack of 10 for $150.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm dead serious, yeah. Pack of 50 for $500. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they're not even the nice ones. So I'm like, where can I get? And it's like people are just announcing that they have glasses, right? So I looked it up, and some libraries around the country have them for free. And the closest one to us is in Orange. Which I know people listening to this have no idea where that is.
So you drive yourself to Orange.
Yeah, but it's about a 45-minute drive from where we are. So I drove up to Orange, and I go in, and there's about a 5% difference in the amount of light that can go in. And I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to hurt someone's eyes. So I found this out yesterday morning. And so I called Jake. I was like, look, I'm not going to live with myself if some kid gets blinded because of my glasses.
Yeah.
So we got to give everyone refunds. Yeah. So then we uploaded a video yesterday afternoon saying like, hey, we're sorry. We're going to give everyone refunds. We apologize. This is not our intention, yada, yada. So he's been on the phone all day, yesterday and today. And my phone hasn't gone off that much today, but all day yesterday was, we need a refund. This is our address. This is how many packs we bought. So it's been kind of a nightmare. But like you said, morals versus money. I could have just taken the money.
Yeah.
And no one would ever know. And honestly, I thought about it too, because if they wanted to sue me, what's my defense? It's ISO certified like it's supposed to be, and I didn't know. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not worth it to me.
But you did know yesterday or 2 days
ago. I did know yesterday, officially.
Yeah, officially.
So that's why I said, you know what? Let's just...
So what about the people that bought on Amazon? You're just going to forget about it?
I can't do anything about that because they're FBA. And so I don't even have their contact information.
I got you.
And honestly, that's kind of on Amazon because they're the ones that could have recalled it and they didn't. So, I don't know. Here's the thing, though, is I'm not even sure if they're safe or not, right? Because they could be. They could be. I don't know. They could not be.
Yeah.
And there's a difference, but I don't know if that slight difference is going to make...
all the difference.
Yeah, I don't know if that slight difference is going to hurt someone's eyes or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, you know what? I want to bear on the side of caution. I'm not going to play with people's eyesights for, to make some money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, real quick though, who's your demographic on Instagram?
Right now?
Yeah.
Let me double check, but I believe it's, primarily 18 to 25. Roughly.
18 to 25?
Yeah, let me double check though.
Okay.
Should probably know this off the top of my head, but I do not. Let's see here. Let's see, followers. 67% men. It's been slowly going up. Used to be about 50-50. Not anymore. 18 to 24 is 51% of my audience. Okay. It's 1,000 people.
Okay, cool. Because I was just thinking, when you were talking about your high school, and you were trying to, you had so much time to play basketball and shit.
Yeah.
For all the high schoolers out there that are listening,
yeah,
I just want to go and tell you that, dude, you have so much time. You want to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
So much time to go and do whatever you need to do, to go and learn something. Because, goddamn, dude, right when you graduate and then you gotta either go to college or you're going to be working full-time, you're not going to have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, you will, but it's hard. It's hard to manage it, or I guess have the self-discipline to fucking go out and do it.
Yeah, I think the most important thing you can do in high school, whether you're a freshman or a senior, and hopefully you start when you're younger, even before high school, but is to figure out what the hell you want to do with your life.
Dude, yeah, but that's hard, man. You're fucking 16, 18. How are you supposed to know that? You're just trying to meet the quota of your friends, and you're trying to be in your little friend group, trying to meet all these cute girls and shit.
That's such BS, dude.
Yeah, it's BS, but dude, you're living in the world. Like, you gotta understand that high school is a whole different world than like out of the school.
You realize that's not how it was. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I was in high school, all I cared about was basketball, and then after basketball, all I cared about was entrepreneurship. And there was
but you were also like stuck in your room.
Yeah, for 6 months, but not for 4 years.
True.
You know what I mean? So up until that point, it was all I cared about basketball. I cared about girls a little bit, but you know me, I don't party at all. I don't drink. I don't do anything like that. And I was never peer pressured, because you know what? I think I was never into peer pressure and never got to me, was because when I was a little kid, I had a really bad lisp. I couldn't talk.
No shit.
Yeah, couldn't talk. And then I also, you see my walk, I kind of have a strut to my walk.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, kids used to make fun of me. Oh, you walk weird. And I used to never say anything back. And then one day, you didn't realize I was doing martial arts at the time too. So I was like in 5th grade, I think, when this happened. And some kid, oh, look at this guy, made fun of how I walked. And I turned and I said, look, I might walk weird, but when I kick your ass, you're going to be the one that's walking weird.
Yeah. And
they never talked to me again. And then after that, it was just kind of like, you know what? I just did so many things that I embarrassed myself doing, looking back. Like, in 7th grade, it was probably the worst time for my lisp, because I'd gotten better, much better from elementary school. But I had braces, and I had just gotten them out, and I had a retainer. And I had to keep it in 24/7.
Even worse.
Oh, my. It was down here. It got better, right? Yeah. It went from like a 2 to like an 8. Like, I could talk pretty normally, I sounded like a little kid, but I was.
And
then down to a -5. Yeah. I mean, it was bad. And at the same time, I was on the school news every week.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, no, seriously. Every week for a year.
Of course you're on the school news. You love the attention.
I do.
Oh, man.
And people used to roast me. And I guess I got to a point where I just didn't give a shit what most people thought.
Yeah.
And now I guess my mentality with that is I care very much about what a few people say. But I care very little about what most people say.
So how did you get into that mindset of how do you not give a fuck? What are your habits or thoughts of doing it?
Well, I'll tell you how it started. Okay, along with that. Well, not when I started, but when I became conscious of it. Was sometime in high school, early high school, and I had heard or listening to some interview or something about someone. I think it was Terry Crews, actually, or something like that. And he was talking about, look, in life, you place a value on people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if they're your best friend, they're very valuable.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. And it's not a bad thing. It's just human nature.
Human nature, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if you're a best friend, like, I'm good friends with you. I place a higher value on you than some random guy, right? And that then artificially or automatically changes, what they say is going to affect you more.
Right.
And the problem with being a kid and with being, in high school, or even kids in college, when peer pressure, in high school and college, I think is at its highest, right? Is you place value on everyone because you don't even understand yourself yet, right? And so I think that not only did I understand myself more than most people my age, but not only that, I understood the whole value and placing that on people. And so as soon as somebody would do anything I didn't agree with, I would literally bring them to 0 on the value. I wouldn't care about anything that they said.
Yeah, because
good or bad.
Right.
And if they want to compliment me, that's great. I'd say thank you, of course. But I wouldn't take it as like, oh man, I'm so proud. I just didn't care. But the same thing goes to the other side. Because those people, like I had so many people in high school that would, this is what I've learned. As soon as things are going great, everyone's on the team, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's on the team.
Yeah.
And then boom, it flips, things go bad, everyone jumps off the team. Right? And I've had that happen probably twice in my life. Like major twice, right? When I got my injury and then when I transitioned into college. And it was just funny because the first time it happened, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what? All my friends just stopped talking to me. Like, what's going on? Like, and it came out that, yeah, you know what? You're not here anymore. You're not popping. You're not the captain of the basketball team anymore. You're not here with us. All these kids that are like, yeah, you should have been on varsity this year are now on varsity. And they're saying, no, you shouldn't even be on varsity.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I've definitely experienced that.
And,
I'm sure everyone here has.
Everyone here has something
For
like
sure.
that. And so that was the first time I was like, you know what? Screw what these people say. I was like, I'm going to choose like 5 people in my life, like my parents and my best friends that I know would never go behind my back. And what they say is going to matter to me. Yeah. Good or bad. Because they're going to give me good criticism, right? How to be a better person.
Yeah.
And they're going to give me good compliments that I deserve.
Well, that and they care.
And they care.
They care for you.
They care.
Yeah.
And all these people don't.
Yeah, they don't.
So it's like, why would I care what they say?
Exactly.
That's my mindset, I guess.
Yeah.
So anytime that someone says something negatively, it's like, you know what? Cool, man.
Yeah.
Unless it's something constructive, then I'll listen to it. And you can't ignore your haters completely.
It's impossible. You're human.
Well, no, it's not even that. I don't think it's a good thing to ignore them completely because sometimes they have valid points.
Yeah, but that's constructive criticism.
But that's constructive criticism. But then it gets to a point where they just start saying ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, just stupid shit.
Yeah.
So
it's like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? It just doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I remember I saw on the video I made.
Yeah.
Someone said something, some stupid little comment. Or,
Yeah. So the Whole Foods parking lot, bro.
Yeah. He's like, dude, you're fucking lame. Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, I don't. What are you doing? Like,
well, you know what's funny is I saw that and I remember the comment. It was like, you are like mate, or I think it was like some British dude, mate.
Yeah.
You're in a Whole Foods parking lot, STFU.
Yeah.
And so I originally was gonna reply, and I typed it out. I was like, you know what? Who's the 19-year-old with a Mercedes and a real estate company? But then I deleted it. I was like, you know what? I never even sent it. I was like, thanks for the motivation. That's all I put. Thanks for the motivation. That's it.
You replied?
Yeah.
Oh.
All I put was thanks for the motivation. I was originally gonna put some comeback, but I was like, dude, I don't need to do.
Or like,
I'm not on this guy's level. Like, I don't need to waste my time.
Well, dude, you could just do what Drake does. I remember in one of his songs, he's like, "Diss me, you'll never hear a diss back" or something like that. I was like, oh shit, dog.
Yeah, no.
It's so true though. Like why feed into it? Because right when you say something back, they're like, oh yeah, I caught the hook. Now I'm gonna fucking troll this fucker.
I know. And now they know.
And now they know. And then that's your fault.
I know. Well, it's interesting. People get that crowd mentality and they get so into it because you've been like seriously into the entrepreneur realm for like how long?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And so you've probably seen them as much as I have. The amount of fake entrepreneurs, bro.
Oh yeah.
That are out there.
Yeah.
And it just gets on my nerves, man.
Yeah.
Because like, part of it, when I met Clayton, he was in that realm. Because he was in the MLM. And guys, if you do MLM, I'm not saying you're a fake entrepreneur, but you're getting pretty close. No, I'm just kidding. It's just, for me, I look at entrepreneurship as creating your own thing, and I feel like MLMs and multi-level market, all that, you're not creating your own thing. You're just selling someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, and then there's this weird commission. It's all weird. Regardless if it's a scam or not, it's a whole other debate, but it's just weird. Anyway, Clayton was going through this, and I pulled him out of it. I was like, I showed him the light. I showed him the other side of entrepreneurs. That's where he is now. But even people, like you remember that chick you showed me on Instagram?
Yeah.
But, like stuff like that, like flexing.
Oh my god.
Like,
by the way, update. I don't think she does that anymore. I think she just like fucks rich guys and like goes out and like does.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I think she's like one of those model chicks now that just like fucks rich guys and like they go on trips and stuff.
Yeah, I've been seeing her traveling a lot.
Yeah, I have some close homies that know her, and they've been telling me that. Yeah.
Yikes. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's crazy that I see like how old is she? Do you know?
21.
21. She's 21, and then like the way difference between her and Morgan.
Oh, completely.
Completely the opposite.
Completely opposites.
Right?
Yeah.
Morgan has an actual business.
Oh,
makes legit
money.
Succeeding business.
Yeah.
Opening up a new branch in San Diego.
And dude, Morgan is a freaking, she hustles, bro.
She does hustle.
She really works at her craft.
Yeah. Versus like going on Instagram and flexing.
Well, going on Instagram and flexing, and they're just talking about it. They're not being about it.
No, right? That's the worst thing.
That's what I hate the most. People just talk their shit. I'm like, I want to see you doing it. I want to see okay. Oh yeah, you were telling me about this like 5 months ago. Where are you now?
Well, people need that purpose.
Yeah.
Because this is what I figured out from going to this company that I got paid $14, $15 an hour for, which I'm pissed about. But I go there, and you realize I've never been in that environment before, right? Mm. And the first day I left, I was honestly kind of sad. I was like, dude, this is how most people live their life. Like, it's there's no purpose.
Yeah.
You just go there, you do paperwork all day, and you come home.
Yeah. That's fucking shit.
I mean, like, there's no purpose. Yeah. And so I think for people, and there's some kids in college that feel the same way.
But
like, why am I here? Especially at like a community like Saddleback. Why am I here?
Oh yeah, they're floating. They're floating.
And so they party a lot.
Yep.
And then when they're not partying, I love they can't party 24/7. They're not going to school.
They're on their screens.
Screens, and if they're trying to find that purpose.
Yeah.
And so some of them are like, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I make money. It's like, what have you done?
Well, that's why you see a boom of these fucking, who do you call those, on those advertising things?
Influencer, not influencers, but yeah, I know, like Facebook ads and Instagram ads. And
buy my course. Like you see a lot of those people buy my course because everyone wants to fucking be an entrepreneur now. But it's like,
but at least people are doing something.
No, I understand that at least some people are doing something, but I want to know the percentage of people who do it and then just quit. I bet you that's a lot.
Do what? Like
buy the program, let's say, and don't do anything with it.
Yeah, that's a good question. And you know, as I read that book Experts by Russell Brunson, it's all about that, like the information business. And he says, you know what? A lot of people think that they should teach people for free. And he says the only reason why I charge is because people that pay attention.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah,
it's true though.
Yeah, it is true. It's an interesting question though.
Yeah, I want to know the statistics on that. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, so what's going on now with your social media? You got College Fact.
Which,
by the way, do you mind if you tell them this? You haven't really told me this story either. You just got, you just got an internship.
Yeah.
And you've been talking to me about months how bad you want to get this internship.
Yeah.
It's been hyped. Cannot overstate that. Okay, literally for months. And then you meet with these guys, and one of them follows you on Instagram.
Yeah. So what happened was that I was dying to get this internship, and you guys need to understand I have a passion for school. I have a passion for college.
100%. Yeah.
100%. And I started this, and I wanted to do something. You were doing Instagram. I remember you were balls deep into it. All of our mastermind people were into it. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Fuck you, man! I want to do something. It's summer, like let's go do something." Mm-hmm. And then I was trying to figure it out for a really long time. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I fucking realized, I'm like, oh, dude, college. Like, no one's doing college facts. Like, no one's looking up facts, putting it on social media, and spreading it to the world.
Right.
And, like, what I do is that I'll put down a fact, and I'll put down the source.
Right.
So it's like a legitimate source, and I'm not just making up random shit. You could go look it up online if you want. And I started doing it. Started gaining some ground, and some people started really liking. Like I have like a little niche of people who really like me, right? But for the most part, it's kind of just like random like accounts or whatever.
Right.
Anyways, yeah. So I during the interview, I pitched it to them. I was like, hey, look, I'm not short on the passion of school. I created this account. I can help you guys create an account. Oh, by the way, I got a job for creating a video.
Really?
Yeah. For awesome. Berkshire Learning Center. So
there you go.
I'll be doing that. Yeah, thank you. I just got that offer yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll be doing 3 videos. One's gonna be like 10 minutes, one's gonna be like a couple minutes. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, so I pitched a video, and then I pitched to Instagram, and I move on with my interview, whatever. And then fucking 3 hours later, man. 3 hours later, and I knew I had it.
Yeah.
I knew I had it going into the internship or interview, and which everyone here, you gotta create your mindset to know that you have the fucking job.
Yeah.
If you're in an internship or you have an interview, act like you have the fucking job, like you own the place, and don't think that these people who are interviewing you are bigger than you. That was my biggest thing. Yeah. I'm like, these people are just normal people. They just want to know who you are and if they would get along with you while they work, because you're going to be working with them for 8 hours a day.
Right.
And I acted like myself. We act cool, and you don't act superior, but you don't act like you're smaller than them. And fucking, I walked out of that interview, knew I killed it. 3 hours later, she fucking follows me or one of the interviewers followed me on Instagram. Boom. Next day, they call me while I was playing basketball. They're like, "Hey, you got the internship." Now I'm working under her and like 5 other counselors, because they all liked me.
Yeah.
They all liked me, and then they were like, "Well, instead, because so what usually happens in the internship is that you're only under one person."
Right.
Well, fucking the whole panel really liked me, so they're like, "Okay, well, you're gonna work under 5 people instead."
Right.
So that was a boost.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, and what was crazy, dude, was that when I was there doing my orientation, dude, these people are like 28, 30 years old.
Yeah.
Doing a free internship. They're in a master's program.
That's scary.
Dude, they're like, I was talking to one guy, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I graduate from my master's program next year."
Oh my god.
I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, I'm a junior in college." Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I competed with these fuckers.
And won. Yeah.
And beat them, because they're only at one
social
counselor.
Skills.
Yeah, like
all social skills.
Yeah, it's all social skills, and it just goes to show, I'm like, damn, dude, my social skills were way more superior than those guys.
I think, honestly, social skills.
Oh my god.
Are one of the most underrated. Well, I don't think they're underrated, because everyone knows they're important, but it's just so important. People don't understand. They think, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to school. I'm gonna get a master's in something, and then I'm gonna make money."
Yeah, no.
That's not how it works.
Nope.
Because there's one thing that's separating you from that: job applications and interviews.
Yeah.
And if you can't sit down there and sound professional and sound like you know what the hell you're doing, or not just have a normal conversation.
Yeah, having it cool.
And be a good
having
guy.
eye contact.
Yeah.
And projecting your views, and like having the energy to talk.
I know.
And the only way I got this internship, to be honest with you, was because I was putting my face into their office 3 times a month when I was going to school there. I was there constantly, because I knew if I made my face recognizable, and then I kept talking about their internship program, they're gonna offer it to me, and then I know that since they know me, they're gonna want me. Right, and you wanted it, and other people didn't. Law of attraction, baby. Law of attraction. That's a real thing, man.
It is a real thing, but you know what? I think people get it misconstrued, because they think, "Oh, I just sit in a dark room and think about driving a Lamborghini and it magically appears."
Yeah, no. That internship took me 8 months.
Yeah. And on top of that, too, like you said, you were going out and taking action, too.
Yeah.
You were going out, "Hey, I'm Christian. When's the internship?"
Yeah.
When's it going on?
Yeah.
You weren't just sitting in a room like, "Oh, I want an internship."
Yeah.
Like crossing your fingers,
Dude, And I would go to the guy who I was getting interviewed.
Yeah.
And I would email him my resume and cover letter. And he was like, "All right, redo this.
There you go.
Dude,
boom.
I got sent back like 5 times to redo it.
Yeah, and you were putting in the reps before you needed to.
Exactly.
And I think the law of attraction, and this is just my opinion, but I think at the end of the day, the secret and the reason why it is so important is because it's preparation. I don't think people
It's prep.
Yeah, people get this idea that the law of attraction is like this mystical thing where you just think about things and it just happens.
Yeah.
Like, no. The point of the law of attraction in my eyes is to think about things earlier in your life.
Yeah.
Like making money as an entrepreneur, or getting your dream car.
Getting a girl.
And the more getting a girl, and the more you think about it, it's going to be on your mind, you're going to be thinking about it. And then you're supposed to go to the next step, which is, how can I attain that?
Yeah.
Like, what steps can I take?
Well, you need to manifest it.
You need to manifest it.
Yeah, you need to actually put action.
And so many people don't do that. They just think
about it.
And like you thought about it first, when I was an idea, "Oh, I want to get this internship." And then you went out and you did the resume again, sent back 5 times, like you said. You were in their office 3 times a month for how many months?
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
And meeting people, networking, okay? And on top of that, that's just your direct preparation. Then let's look back at all the interviews that you've done.
Oh, yeah.
Since you got your first job.
Oh, dude. I do interviews just to
practice.
Just to practice. I'm 6-0
You're
right
6-0.
now.
He's 6-0.
I'm 6-0 on interviews, but I've only had 3 jobs.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So
and I've had...
Including the internship. So only 2 jobs.
One? Like, I don't even know if I count this one because I was there for 3 days. But other than that, I've had 0.
Yeah.
And yet, every interview I've ever done, they want me to come in.
Well, just meetings, I would say.
Just meetings, yeah. Mostly just meetings. For you.
But
occasionally I'll do an interview. Like, when I first got my real estate license, I went to a bunch of different brokerages.
Okay, well, that's different, though. You have to do that.
Yeah. But no, as far as meetings, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to be nervous to meet with people, but now it's like, dude.
If you know what you're talking about and you project,
you just feel confident.
Yeah.
It's the same
confidence,
thing with
bro. Confidence.
I think that's like the key to life.
Dude, people need to learn confidence. People need to understand it, read fucking books, feel good about it, because that's the only way you're going to get things in life, man. Or succeed or gain people's vote for you. That's what I would say.
Dude, confidence is... You know what's funny? We were selling these glasses.
Yeah.
You know, last couple of days. We were killing it. Okay. And, you know, I've never run a product-based business before. I mean, I have, but not like a legit one. Like, this is like a legit one. And so, literally, now, even because of the, you know, everything that's happened with, we gotta give people refunds and stuff, which is okay. It's a total mistake. I still feel super confident. I know exactly how to market it. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to find a product that I can do it with. Like, I know everything.
Yeah.
Only thing I left out was the safety issue. But other than that, I know exactly how to do everything and make it fly off the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's pretty much that. It's just interesting, though, like, people are so scared to take that first step. You know what I mean?
Well, people just feel like they don't know what to do. I feel like people need someone who knows what to do and guide them. Because if you think about it, we were brought up in school, and in school we have a syllabus. We have a teacher that tells you everything we need to do.
Right.
From left to back, that tells you, oh, no, this is wrong, we do it. This is right, do it. But entrepreneurship, you're by yourself. Or you have maybe a homie, but... It's not a syllabus. It's not a one-way road. Okay, here you go. Boom, if you do this, you're there.
Right.
Dude, entrepreneurship's all over the fucking place.
Right.
You know, you'll be in one place and then boom, you got a problem and you got to go back. And then boom, you got to do this or...
No, it's like, think about the...
And you don't know the information because you were never taught entrepreneur. You were never taught business.
Right. Think about... So, for anyone that... Because no one's going to know the story. At least that's listening, I don't think. But when we met... We had the club. And we put some work into that club.
Oh my god, we
grinded it out for like probably 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Every day. So we had this idea. Well, it was kind of weird because like when we met, it was just like I had the idea and you already had the idea and we just never met. We're like, let's do it. So I met him in a class. This is my first semester in college. And I meet him and it was kind of random. Like we just got matched up for, remember? It was like some weird meeting, the event or something that we were going to do.
I don't know what it was, but something.
And we figured out we're both into like business and entrepreneurialism. And then I told him, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about starting an entrepreneurism or like a business and investing club here at Saddleback. Would you want to be interested in joining that? And he was like, yeah, actually, you know, can I help you set it up or something like that? So next thing I know, this guy that I had just met, we're working together to set up this club. And I mean, we did everything. And the first thing we did was we went online and we checked if there's any clubs. And there was none.
Well, there was one.
Well, there was one, but there wasn't a business club at the time. And so we went in, we literally designed a logo, had business cards printed and made.
Created the Constitution,
flyers, Constitution, bylaws, everything.
Everything.
Went around, put flyers up all around the school.
Got certified for it.
Literally everything that we had to do, we did. Yeah, we remember the suicide training. We had to do like suicide prevention training on teaching. You know, if we spotted someone, we had to, you know, something like that. I don't know. Went around, got names, made fake phone numbers. I mean, we did legit everything.
Market, put up flyers.
Yeah, I know. We did everything. And
cards. Yeah.
Anyway, long story short is. We go into the office because they wouldn't let us launch our club. And we go in there and they're like, yeah, so here's the deal. And I think it was you because you had just transferred to Saddleback, right? Like, oh yeah, he can't be a part of it because...
I go to a different school.
Because you well, not even go to a different school. You go to the same school, but you're certified at a different school.
Yeah, you're certified.
Some BS like that. And then, and then one of them doesn't meet the GPA requirement, which I'm like, I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
And all the other kids are freshmen, so unless they took classes
3.7.
before. Yeah, that's definitely fine. You have to have at least a 2.5. So.
Yeah.
which I hadn't even taken a class. Actually, I did. I had one class and I got an A, so I had a 4.0 at the time. And anyway, long story short, though, is the major issue was there was another business club that had been created from the time we started.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, look, we're going to do the same club. They're like, well, you can't. You have to change the name. Because our name was Business and Investing. Their name was Business. And we're like, okay, look, we can name it the Red T-Shirt Club. It's going to be about the same damn thing anyway, so why does that matter? We've already had our logo made. Why can't they change the club? Because we were a higher level. Remember, there's that level.
Yeah.
Like, well, they came in first. And I said, and when we left, remember, I was pissed. And I was like, you know what? Remember, I showed up in a suit, too.
Yeah, I remember that.
I showed up in a suit.
You were determined.
Dude, I was pissed. And I don't know if I said this to you. I think I did. But I was like, look, business is all about competing. And this is why colleges don't make any goddamn sense, because they won't even let us compete.
Yeah.
In a freaking business club. That's the whole point. Like, we would have kicked that
There's no market.
There's no market.
Yeah.
It's a monopoly. And like, what if that business club sucks? What if kids our age, teenagers, early 20s, go to this club and it's a bunch of BS?
Yeah.
And that's very possible.
And that's how fake entrepreneurs are made,
Are born right there. We found out the cause, people. We figured out the cause. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it. We've been doing this for an hour and 15.
It's been a minute.
I'd say I think it's pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what people say. But thank you guys very much. This is episode 1. I guess we're gonna call it the Millennial Mogul podcast. I don't really know yet. I don't know if I like that yet.
Okay.
But we'll figure it out. Thank you, Kristen, for coming down. Actually, I guess I came down here and been.
Still.
Thank
you for offering me to come. And
be a co-host. And we're gonna do this once a week. Is that good?
Yeah.
Once a week.
Try to do it once a week.
All right, man. Well, thank you guys very much, and catch you guys later.
Peace.